In this foundation week, we'll explore the roots of mindfulness, meditation, and contemplation, and begin to put together a working model of how they work, interact, and what outcomes they can give a person by doing the different practices. So the week will start off by introducing this model. We look at the concepts, the differences and connections of mindfulness, more formal meditation, and then insight meditation or contemplation. And we'll be doing then three main practices during the week. The first practice is working with the thinking mind, one-pointed practice. The second practice will be loving kindness, working with the heart. And the third practice will be based on the gut, using the breath and body awareness practices. Um, and not only will we be doing these practices, but we'll also be learning them so that we can deliver them to groups as well. We'll be then bringing in the idea of looking at our inner process, moving from an ego-based identity that's attached to and caught up in the story about ourselves and so on, moving more into an awareness of the observing self and how the observing self goes through a transformation, if you like, often from a critical, sometimes judgmental observer into a kinder, gentler, more loving one. And so we'll be bringing that process into the teaching, and mainly through the practice of mindful inquiry. So how do I observe what's going on within myself, in my thoughts, in my feelings, in my emotions, in a mindful, healthy, caring way. So that'll be a big part of the week and throughout the program. And also within this foundation week, we'll be revisiting for many and looking at it maybe for the first time, the MBI TAC, which is the assessment criteria that the University of Bangor, Exeter and Oxford have designed, and which is now kind of a standardization of MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction assessment. So we'll be looking at the MBI TAC and using it to assess our own delivery and practice of mindfulness and meditation. So that'll be it's a really useful criteria for those things. We'll also be introducing, in terms of using of embodiment, we'll be introducing mindfulness walking, mainly using based on the teaching of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist. So how to do mindfulness walking and then how to lead others in mindfulness walking, in the mindfulness walking practice. And then in terms of being a teacher and a facilitator, we'll be starting the QQI module. So we'll be looking at theories of adult education, the idea of different learning styles, how people learn in different ways, and therefore how to design or deliver to meet a variety of learning styles, as well as group dynamics and how to manage groups. And we'll be beginning the QQI project during this week, so that by the end of the 4 weeks we'll have all the QQI work done, so we can get that accreditation. So this foundation week then is very much a chance for people who have done mindfulness training before, particularly if you've done MBSR training. It's a great opportunity to re-engage at a deeper level, perhaps with your practice, to bring the MBI TAC back into focus and to begin to try out your teaching or deepen your teaching practice using QQI methods. We'll also then, in this week, the whole program is very much developed around the use of language. So, we'll be looking at what kind of language, what kind of phrases and terms are used in modern MBSR or modern mindfulness contexts. What do they mean? The different phrases, what does the language mean? How do we use them? And then as the program goes on, we'll be introducing other languages or other language options and phrases and terms, I suppose, that match the different domains we're studying. So when we're in the spiritual domain, how does the language change? What does it mean? And same if it's in a tradition, or how do I reference different traditions? And then when I put all that together and I'm giving a practice, an interspiritual practice, um, having an awareness of the terms and language and how they're referenced in the practice and delivered is very important. So we'll be using all that in our program. And then finally, I suppose we'll have an opening ritual based on the Japanese tea making ceremony. And for each of the weeks, we'll have a different ritual which will help us to explore this interspiritual domain more as we go along. So, thank you.